So why exactly was the Texas Fair so empty? Did it get canceled? Did we miss the cancellation notice?
The iconic Texas State Fair is currently trending, but for all the wrong reasons. As we all know by now, this fair has been coming year after year. It's been a family function. Everybody goes, they have a great time, and it's always packed. The issue right now is that for this year, 2025, there's multiple videos that are trending right now where you can see the fair in the day or in the night pretty much completely empty. At first, I thought it was somebody that was trolling. You know, they went the first day or they went on a Monday when it was empty. But there's multiple days, different days. And then here's the thing. People that actually live close to the fair are also commenting saying that, yes, it is empty.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Have you heard about the Texas State Fair and how empty it was recently? For those of you who don't know, the Texas State Fair that's held in Dallas is a big deal every year. And there are those out there who believe that as that state fair goes, it really tells you about the state of the economy and where things are across the country, not just in Texas. So I wanted to share with you something that recently came out about the state fair. So here's what happened. A Dallas content creator named Jared Gines went to the State Fair of Texas this year, and he noticed something strange. The crowds practically gone. He said he could walk right up to Big Tex for photos. Big Tex is this giant statue of a man, I believe wearing a cowboy hat and boots, that's a staple at the state fair. And everybody loves to get photos in front of it. And he said he could walk right up to Big Tex for photos. No lines, no crowd, something he's never seen in decades of going to the Texas State Fair.
So I've been seeing a lot of people making videos about the Texas State Fair or State Fair of Texas being empty. And that is very unusual because even during the week, the Texas State Fair or State Fair of Texas is usually busy throughout the week. But for some reason, it is not. Now, I did go to the State Fair of Texas when the weekend of Grambling and Prairie View, which was last weekend, and it was packed. It was not empty at all. That was on a Saturday. But I would probably say one reason why the State Fair may not be as busy as it normally is because it is expensive. I mean, it's very expensive. And I heard also that they used to give out these free tickets to the students so that they could go to the fair, and they no longer give students those tickets anymore. So just think, if you got 5 kids in school and they were getting free tickets in order, so that you don't have to pay that fee for them to get into the fair, but they're no longer giving them that ticket, it could really add up.
He posted about it, and the internet lit up with thousands of comments from people saying the exact same thing. They just can't afford to go this year. We're talking $150 to $350 for a family of 4 once you add in tickets, food, rides, and parking. People are saying they're having to choose between paying rent and taking their kids to the fair. Now, the fair's PR team says, hey, inflation is real. Vendors set their own prices, and they say we're not immune to the economy. And they're right. Everything costs more. Food, housing, even fun. But here's the deeper truth. When families can't afford a funnel cake, it's not just about the fair anymore. It's a mirror of the economy. Wages aren't keeping up. The job market's cooling off. Layoffs are creeping in again. And even people with jobs feel broke because every dollar gets eaten up before every payday. So the fair is just one snapshot of a bigger picture. People are cutting back on the little joys because the basics cost too much. And when that happens, it's not a spending problem, it's a stability problem. Because when people have to skip community traditions just to keep the lights on, that tells you everything about where we are as a country right now. So if you're feeling this squeeze, you're not imagining it. This is just inflation. It's the reality of an economy where the average worker is hustling harder and getting less in return. The real question is, what happens when the middle class can't even afford to feel middle class anymore?
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel Rose M React. Thank you so much for your support and thank you so much for clicking on this video. The Texas State Fair is supposed to be one of the biggest and most exciting events in the country. Every year, millions of visitors come out to enjoy the food, the music, the rides, and that Texas-sized pride. But this year, something strange happened. The fairground looked almost empty. The vendors stood around waiting for customers who never came, and now MAGA supporters are furious, but not for the reasons you might expect, because many are blaming the president on the policies for the low turnout. It turns out that when the economy starts slowing down, when inflation keeps biting, and when wages don't match rising costs, people simply stop spending money on leisure. Families are struggling to afford groceries and gas, and so spending hundreds of dollars for a day at the fair is not just happening. What used to be a place for community fun has now become a reflection of how tough life has gotten under the new policies. Let's get to the video, but before, let me play a few clips on the same, and I'll be back with my own commentary. All credit goes to the original creators of each and every video you see here.
And then on top of that, if you're parking in the fair parking is $30. So that's a lot right there. So $30. And then again, if you have multiple kids, that adds up. And then on top of that, the food items are so expensive. And I know when you have kids, they want to ride. So that's, another expense. So that really adds up. And when you think about the state of the economy right now, especially with food prices being so expensive, it does not make sense to try to fit that into your budget. And I wouldn't, if I had to, if I had, multiple kids, I would definitely miss out on the fair. I mean, it's not, necessary, of course. I mean, it is necessary for you to eat, but definitely not necessary to go to the fair because, again, the food items at the fair are really expensive. I usually get like a corny dog. I did not get a corny dog this year, but some of the items that I got, the most expensive item that I bought at the fair this year was like $22. And it was not worth $22. And what it was a funnel cake. It was supposed to be a funnel cake with chopped beef on it. And I just wanted to try one new item, and it ended up not being that great. So that was a waste of $22. And then to say that was $22. And then I had already paid $30 for parking. So again, it adds up. So I'm sure that is definitely one reason why people are choosing to skip out on the fair this year. It's expensive.
Currently, almost no one went to the Texas State Fair this year. Let me tell you, Texas is the #1 most distressed state in people in the United States right now. The people in Texas are the #1 distressed financially right now. #2 is Florida. Florida is #2 where the people are struggling worse than any other state. #1, Texas, the red state. #2, Florida, the red state. Yes, they both voted for Donald Trump. This is a little bit of an FAFO, but this is a sure sign that not only is a recession coming and is already in about 22 states, according to Moody's top economist. I'm going to say it. We are about to experience our first self-inflicted depression. Self-inflicted. Please get your finances in order. Please call your elected officials.
The MAGA crowd online has been venting their anger, claiming that the fair is quote-unquote too woke or that Biden supporters might do it everything. But the truth is, this problem didn't come from some rebel agenda. The fair is suffering because of the very economic chaos that came from DT's massive spending cuts, trade wars, and the American First policies that backfired. The same people who voted for those policies are now watching their favorite fair turn into a ghost town. Some local vendors are speaking out too. They have seen that the crowd used to be double or even triple what it is now. Many blame the high cost of travel and the decline into tourism. Texas used to draw people from all over the country for the fair, but this year, many families couldn't justify the trip. Between higher flight costs, fewer jobs, and a weaker donor, it's just not affordable anymore. And on social media, MAGA pages are filled with angry posts about quote-unquote boycotts and deliberate sabotage. But what they won't admit is that this is just another FAFO moment, find-out season, where the consequences of voting for policies without thinking them through finally hit home. When you cut federal support, attack trade partners, and slash public spending, local economies suffer. And when the economy suffers, events like the Texas State Fair are the first one to feel the pain. One vendor selling fried food said, "We used to have lines out to the door. Now, I'm lucky if I make enough to cover it." That's not politics, that's reality. And the sad part is, these vendors are small business owners that every people MAGA always claimed to fight for. And yet now, they are paying the price for decisions made at the top, while the politicians they supported are nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, locals says the fair just doesn't have the same energy anymore. The rides are far full, music shows are cancelled because of low attendance, and some families who came out saying they could feel the emptiness. One woman told reporters that she had never seen the fair so dead. She said it's like Texas lost its joy. Economists have pointed out that the fair's emptiness mirrors a bigger trend across the country, declining consumer confidence. And when people don't feel secure about their jobs, their healthcare, or their future, they cut back. The Texas State Fair might just be the latest victim of a national slowdown that's affecting everything from small dinners to big events. And here's the irony. Many of the MAGA supporters who used to brag about how great the economy was under dating are now the loudest ones complaining about how bad things have gotten. They wanted to quote-unquote drain the swamp, but ended up draining their own wallets. They wanted to own the deals, but now they can't even afford to own a ticket to the fair. And in the end, the empty Texas State Fair is not just about low turnout. It's a symbol. It shows how political choices can have real-world effects. It's a reminder that slogans don't pay bills, and that pride alone can't fill fairgrounds. Maybe next time, people will think twice before cheering for cuts that end up cutting their own communities. And so while MAGA supporters rage online, the fairgrounds remain quiet. The fairlies will still dance, but fewer people are watching. The smell of fried food still fills the air, but fewer people can afford to taste it. The Texas State Fair has become a mirror, showing how the American first dream has turned into an empty fairground. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.